I know a lot of where I am right now is because of the different interactions I've had with that man. You know, I love him so much, and he's really, 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 like, really, really helped me realize things that I believe if I didn't meet him, going forward, I still would have walked into these doors I'm about to walk in, but I would have fucked myself up.
Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go. Everybody go.
Okay, I sent this to Travis by accident. You should get that one. There you go. Okay, you good. Hey, baby.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, this is too close. You know what? I'm so used to when I do these, I'm on the top. So I'm like, why is my head cut off right now?
Yeah. Oh, no. Tilt your camera up.
It's okay. No, it's okay.
We need the whole Oliver experience. We can't have it without the hair. There you go. Okay. Oh, you Erykah Badu wrapped up. Is that a hat? What's on your head? Okay, got it.
It's my hat.
You're like, come on, hat.
I found this at Walmart like 2 months ago. It was for $1 when I was buying a new TV.
I like it.
And I was like, this is me. And so I grabbed like 3 of them.
It actually looks like a hood because it's matching your coat so well, your jacket so well. Thank you for being here.
You're so welcome. I'm so sorry for being like,
man. She was like, don't you do that.
No, listen. So I'm literally in the bathroom, like, you know, spraying whatever, coming. You see, I still have foundation on my hand, and then I just had like this thunder lightning, and I was like, okay, make a decision. Go sit down and hope you can get through it for an hour, or go ahead and hit the emergency button and just be done with it. So I was like, let me just hit the emergency button and I'll be done with it. She'll open up with devotion and pray for the people.
Yeah, you know,
all that stuff. So I should have some time.
You know, I'll keep the sanctuary going while you're gone. It's all right.
Amen. Glory
amen
to God.
and amen. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're here. Just glad that you were able to make time. Now, of course, you know, I'm not going to say what you said earlier, but is everything okay?
Oh, no, we can say it.
You sure? Oh, it's you. I don't want to put yourself on.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was having some issues with Mama Twixt. Mama Twixt has to go to surgery tomorrow for something. And just so you know, I know that. And just amongst some other stuff. So I didn't think I was going to make it tonight, but we were able to.
I'm glad
I was able to get that, you know, whatever, that's situated. I got my answers. Everything else is situated. And he's here.
Yes, he is here. Mama Twixt is all right. I'm glad about that. I miss her.
Mama Twixt.
Am I gonna see her soon? She coming to you know what? Is she coming?
What'd you say?
Is she coming to you know what? Like when we see each other soon?
You know what? No, she'll still be recovering.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, send her my love, please.
I definitely will.
No, listen. You was allowed this season.
Was I? Oh my goodness.
Yes. let's just go ahead. You know what? Maybe to me you were a lot, but maybe to others you were not. How do you feel about this season? Let's start with a huge arc and then work our way down.
You know what? I'm very happy. Okay, let's talk about the. Should I do the negatives or positives first? Which one should I do?
Let's start with the positives because the negatives are going to ask for a lot of conversation.
So the positives.
Let's go positive.
Okay, so the positives for me was I was really able to showcase the full life of what Oliver Twixt is. Oliver Twixt the artist, Oliver Twixt the creator, Oliver Twixt the boyfriend, Oliver Twixt the son, Oliver Twixt the friend. Like, I was able to showcase every facet of myself in like real time. And it's like, when I was reviewing my scenes, I was like, oh my God, I was able to showcase so much, you know, from the Sephora to the seasoning to Dr. Heavenly to music videos to shows and performances. So I was extremely proud about that. I was proud that I was able to not only bring my mother back, but bring her back in a larger capacity, because a lot of people contacted me and told me how much it touched them to see a gay Black man with a gay Black mother have that type of relationship that we have. So I was very happy to bring her around more. And then I was also very happy of showing a young gay Black love with my boyfriend. That made me very happy. And you
How
know
is he?
He's good. He's probably cursing me out right now because he decided to sleep in for work. So he's actually like in the bed. But he's great.
Okay.
And you know what? And even though it was a messy situation, I was very happy that, in hindsight, I was happy that Q and I were able to show the arc of our thingy and show like, you know, friends, they can have disagreements, they can have moments, but it's all about what you do when you come together and remembering what's most important, which is the love, the friendship. So I was happy that we were able to show some resolve, because I don't think you see a lot of resolution on Chasing Atlanta. It's like, fuck you, bitch, and stuff like that. People just going about their business.
Most reality TV, you don't.
Most reality TV. So I was very proud that, you know, no matter what people's opinions were, him and I were able to successfully showcase resolution, especially in our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I want to high five a lot of that too. You know how I am. I love seeing y'all work. I do. I love watching you achieve things. And I know that we haven't seen it yet, but you know what, you invited me to. I don't want to give it away, but when you invited me to, I love seeing you do things like that. I love seeing you build your brand and put it out there, and watching people gush and do things and be happy about you. I love seeing you interview everybody from America's Next Top Model.
Oh, thank you.
How did you, did all of this start with the interview with Jay Manuel?
No. So I
love this. How did it go?
So to make a long story short, two things were happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Jay Manuel was already doing his Jay's chats over the summer. Okay. And someone who is the executive producer of a project I was working on while filming Chasing Atlanta. Like, I can't tell that story, but he formerly used to work on Top Model, and yes, like he used to work on Top Model. No more, like he's the guy working on the project I'm on used to work on that show. So he would, we would have conversations, and then alongside that, I would watch Jay's chats, and I'd be like, Jay, you're not really asking the questions that I really want, like the fans really want to know. And I know it's probably because, you know,
you told him that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Hey.
Yeah.
Listen,
I was like, you're not.
Go ahead. Okay.
I was like, you know, you're not really giving it the way we want it, but I know he really can't because of the position he occupies. You got to be really careful. You got to be careful. So I was like, okay, well, I got a couple of thousand followers. I got a platform. I got a mouth. Let me just ask a question. So it started there, and then
wait. Look, I want to take that in. So I get the producer part, and then I give you on his Jay's chest. So did you just told him in the comments, or did you DM him, or?
Oh no, my boss is friends with him, so he made that connection. So
he made the got it. Okay, I now understand. Okay, go ahead.
So then Jay sent me his book, and then we conversed, and he was like, "Well, why don't I do my last Jay's chat with you?" And then so we did the Jay's chat together, and he was done. And so in my brain, I was like, "Well, why don't I just keep doing it?" And so I just kept doing it, and then 1 million views later.
I'm glad to see that. It's one thing when you get, you know, like a one-off, and I'm happy for one-offs. Whenever you can get an interview with this person or that, it's like, okay, that's great. And then when I just saw a string of them happening, then you know something's popping off, and I just love seeing that for you. So I was happy to see that. I know that has little to do with Chasing Atlanta, but it is still part of you and your brand, and so I'm happy about that.
You know, I was very appreciative of it, especially because it kind of coincided with the beginning of Chasing Atlanta. And, you know, sometimes being a part of this world and, you know, being Oliver Twixt inside of Chasing Atlanta, you can get very lost in opinions and stuff like that. And, you know, I take everything in consideration. I listen to a lot of the feedback and things people say about me, because I know I'm not infallible. And every day I wake up, I try to be better than I was the day before. And the first step about that is being open to things that are incorrect about yourself. But with that in mind, I know there's a lot of bullshit in the mix with Chasing Atlanta, and it felt good to curate a space that was my own, that was getting the same amount of traction, the same amount of views, the same amount of global attention, but the energy in it was so positive. Like, it's nothing but love. Like, me and the people that follow that, it's a video premiering right now. It's nothing but love. It's nothing but positivity. And it felt good that I was showcasing my natural self, unedited, right in real time, and people were able to see me for me. So I think it was really a godsend for me, like, to stay sane, to have this going on at this time.
I think that's a good thing. And listen, I want to make sure everybody knows I know the chat's going to move kind of fast while Oliver and I are talking. We have a lot of people here, and we're so happy that you are here. If you have a question for Oliver in particular, or even myself, both of us, whatever it may be, put it in the question feature, and then at a certain point, I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple questions from there to ask.
Send me your
free
question.
to do that, okay? Please feel free to do that. That is good to know. All of that is good to know. Something I was getting ready to say, you sparked my mind about something. You were talking about the happiness of doing all the things, being on the show. Something I want to, it'll hit me later. Let's transition though. It'll come.
Okay.
With all the good, as you said, comes some bullshit.
Okay.
And okay, first of all, so I want to make sure the world stopped when I did your assessment a couple weeks ago. You know,
I don't know why they're so dramatic.
They're very dramatic. I would say for good reason. Tell me your feelings on it, and then I'll give you mine. Let's start there.
Okay. So I think people have to understand my approach to media is that I was schooled by people like Funky Dineva. I was schooled by people like T.S. Madison. I was schooled by people like Quad, Dr. Heavenly, people who are vets in reality TV. And one of the most important things that they teach me is you have to know how to filter certain things, and you have to know how to view things in a certain lens. So me watching that, first of all, I don't really take a lot of things serious because every day I wake up, I'm blessed. Every day, you know, I'm blessed. So there's no need for me to internalize and to meditate for a long time on things that just aren't positive. You know, you recognize them, you get what you can get from it, and you just keep on going. For me, because my end goal does not include internalizing an Imani Vanzap thing. You know what I'm saying? Or like anything that's just not. I recognize it and whatever. But it was like, okay, well, even though I did have some opinions about it, and I will say, overall, it was like, okay, I mean, she's not a psychologist. She's not a psychiatrist. This is a character that someone has created that's in this space to critique us. And whatever she's saying, she must feel right about it. Like, I don't think she has the intent to like harm me or hurt me or whatever like that. You know, this is all entertainment. Those are her opinions. You know, everyone like an asshole, everyone has opinions. So that's her opinion. I think the only thing that I could critique about it was just like some of the verbiage, and then some of the things that, and this is me just coming from being a nerd and have studied like English language and stuff like that. For me, in this certain climate, to use the word Karen with someone in this climate to me was like, a better word could have been chosen, but well, really not. But no, a better word could have been chosen because, you know, right now that's a trigger word for people. So for me to use that word and assign that to someone's personality or character can be kind of dangerous, and it could be kind of damaging. I'm glad that people who follow me and who support me, you know, they can kind of decipher and pick and choose. So I wasn't really too worried about it having a long lasting effect. But I was like, well, maybe she could have chose a better word. And then when I think you said something about me recording Lauren, which I know that's something you wouldn't know, but everyone on cast on Chasing Atlanta knows that we use our phones to record our audios when we're in scene because our cameras don't have mics and our phones are used to capture the audio that's close to us. And so after we're done, we send it off to the people who edit it and then they take it. So when I was saying that I have the recording, I was referring to the recording that I had that I hadn't
from another situation
yet. Right. I would never sit down and record a, you know, these girls in the chasing reality world get into a lot of things with the recordings and I ain't
y'all. Well, see, y'all let me respond to some of that. Y'all are a receipt keeping bunch.
And see, I don't give a fuck. So I don't do stuff like that. It's like I said, I don't give a fuck. So I've never done stuff like that. Like, bitch, why am I recording you? You a grown ass person. You either gonna tell the truth or you're not. God will kill you in the end anyways. So
let me go back to some of that. So as you said, now this is one thing that I find funny. Because as you appreciate the English language and whatnot, as do I. And so where I laugh sometimes is when there are any words that anyone is offended by because the way y'all talk to each other all the time. You say worse
what did you say?
I said, I'm always finding it funny that anyone is offended really by any word because of the way that all of you talk to each other all the time. There's never a vernacular of respect amongst any of you.
Well, no, I didn't say I was offended. I just
not
think
offended.
Yeah. Oh, listen, it takes a lot.
I'm expounding on what you're talking about. Like, it's
gotcha. Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to be offended. I don't be giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, like in my brain and in my world, my only source of conflict, period, in life that I have currently right now solely exists in chasing Atlanta. Every other show, every other team, every other friendship, business, social circle that I am a part of, none of this takes place. It is only in this circle that I exist in. So I'm able to just box it up in this area. But I want to finish what I was saying earlier. The last thing was when you use my mom saying me like being all over the place and like supporting your claims, I was like, that's not what she meant. My mom meant that since I was a child,
you've been in a lot of stuff.
I've always been like very active in like multiple things at the same time. Not that I'm a busybody, but like I said, outside of those things I just listed, it didn't bother me because like I said, this is entertainment. This isn't like a licensed person who went to college to like talk about us. Yes, she may be experienced. Yes, she may have an opinion and she's entitled to it, but don't take it serious. It's not that serious.
So I think those are very interesting views, and I can see why you would say some of the things that you do. I think that before we dismiss the absence of a degree on the wall, or say, because you don't know that, it's just entertainment. That's not me. Mine, I'm an empath. And as you have been, first of all, I didn't ask you these questions that I meant to ask everybody. What's your age, what's your sign, and what you're sipping on?
Oh, I am 24. I am an Aquarius, and I am currently drinking a special blend.
You're not going to tell us? Everybody wants to know.
If I lean any more, I'll fall over, and the box is like,
don't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to fall, but it's like I'll take a picture of it later and put it in my
Okay, so put it in stories. I'll share it. Okay,
I gotta take my grill out.
We're gonna talk about the grill too. Okay, so anyway, we'll get back to that.
I can't.
You know that was the thing. Hold on. Okay, so wait. Okay, so let me get some of that. So here would be some of our response to that. Is before we do that, like I was saying, before we say, oh, you don't have a degree on the wall or whatever it may be, I totally understand that. I think that you would agree, and you maybe have other people that, especially people that you look up to, that would say that one of the best teachers is wisdom and experience. And so it's definitely you're saying that you're in your 20s, that I've been pursuing, what I've been doing long as you've been alive.
Right.
So when I'm saying things from my perspective and my vantage point, it's not with the frivolousness of just, I would care, like a lot of other people have characters and they're gimmicky. There's something that I use to put out my truth and my perspective in the world. So while that may not be accompanied by an actual documentation from a university for that thing, I've gone to school for other things and been able to put those things together. So when I'm looking at you and even the other kids and I'm seeing things, is because I don't always feel, this is me, and you could feel free to push back, I don't think that all of you are looking down the line. I think that, as you said something that was very key. You said none of your other social relationships are like this. And Oliver, I absolutely believe you, because I feel that those are the ones you respect. I don't think that there's a respect level here.
Really?
I don't feel that there's any respect. I feel, this is me, and I really want to have a honest conversation.
Tell me. This is great.
This is what I feel. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is what I feel. I feel that every other relationship that you have outside of this realm, I absolutely feel you respect all those people because those relationships are beneficial to you. Those relationships are not necessarily substantive more than they are progressive for you. When it comes to chasing Atlanta, because the way all y'all talk about each other, y'all real quick to say, well, the other girls, and that's why they hate me. You have no respect for these people. So there's going to be conflict when you already are walking into a situation thinking lowly of everybody that you're in communication with. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't see.
No. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I will agree to that to an extent. I never walked into chasing Atlanta just with guns blazing. I think for me, a lot of my response to people on this show comes from people try to create this story of who I am, and they purposefully omit everything else.
Like what?
So like, I feel like people can be like, oh, Oliver's like this, or he's like this, but it's like, you're not saying like when cameras aren't rolling that I'm like reaching out to you to hang out. Or you're not saying that, when you needed a favor for something, I did it and I didn't charge you the full price. You're not saying that I had one of my clients reach out to you and solicit your services and paid you like full things. You're not saying that in an emergency, when you need something or one of my equipment, I'm bringing it to you. You're not saying that I'm sharing my platform with you, with just inviting you. No cameras, nobody there. I'm sharing my platform with you. You're not saying that you reached out to me and I didn't charge you for something. Like I can take critique. I've been taking critique since I was a child. Critique doesn't bother me. And people telling me that, hey, Oliver, you're like this, right? This, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that people just omit everything else in this arena and not not like build out the full Oliver experience.
So let me see if I heard you correctly. So you're saying that you feel that other people that in this realm of Chasing Atlanta that you are colleagues with, colleagues, however you want to put it, that they don't mention the good that you do. And that's where a lot of the misunderstanding is for us as audience members, is because they're not saying the good that you do?
I'm not sure what it is for the audience members. I'm just more so speaking like from like my frustration on like what's presented. You know what I'm saying?
Show?
What my cast members present to the people to consume, like
on the show.
Yes.
So if you feel some of that, so my question would be for that, because I think that those are valid concerns. Why wouldn't you bring some of that up? Because especially a lot of y'all's conflict happened right there in the moment. And so if with a lot of people coming at you, why would the onus be on the person that you did the favor for and not you as the individual that gave the favor, and say, well, wait a minute, why are you acting like this? You know, I did this for you, I did that for you. I've never heard you defend yourself.
Well, because I never feel the need to bring those situations to camera. You know, a lot of these things, like my style is, if I'm your friend or if I'm trying to develop a relationship with you and you do something that I don't like, in this arena, I think people forget in this arena, all of us just met each other. We don't know anybody. We're all getting to know each other in real time before everyone's eyes. And while we're getting to know each other, we're being not, and when I say forced, I'm not saying like somebody made us do it, but we're part of this show. You have to participate. We have to participate in unrealistic scenes that while we're still trying to get to know each other in the realm of reality TV that already has these built-in psychological things about who finna be the needy, who finna read, who finna fight, who can get the most shade, how can I show up right now? All that is happening at one time.
Yeah.
And so for me, in knowing that, it's like, if one of my cast members have done something, or if I hear something, I'm not going to jump on my live and talk about it. I'm not going to jump in a scene and talk about it. Everybody that's been on part of Chasing Reality, Chasing Atlanta, whatever, anytime that I hear someone has a problem with me, or I hear one of my friends has something, I always pick up the phone and I'll call them. I'll pick up the phone and call them, text like, hey, what's going on? You want to talk about something? Because I want to know, because I'm getting to know you. The same way you don't know what makes me tick, I don't know what makes you tick. And me being a person that cares about people, I'm going to reach out to you and try to have an understanding of what's going on so that I know how to better treat you, because something that I'm doing, you may be reading based off your own experiences and whatever's going on. And that's nothing that's going on over here, but because we're not having a conversation about it, you're creating a story, running with it, and there's no communication happening.
So, okay, those are good points. So my response to that would be, or question response to that would be, the things you say that you don't want to bring, that you don't feel that you need to bring on camera because those are behind the scene things. I don't know if it's the cast members, I don't know if it's the way that the show was designed, but it would appear to me that some of that will be cherry picking, because there are some instances that do make it. There would be things that would be off grid that don't really have anything to do with anything, i.e. what happened between you and Q, where I'd seem to be able to look at the situation and say, there were real things that were felt here. The way that all that played out, I'm so happy that y'all got it together, but that seemed to be a real situation and a real point of contention between the two of you. Would you not agree?
Oh yes, no, that was a real thing.
So that's what I'm saying. So if that's a real thing, I still don't understand, and it helped me to get it. I still don't understand why there would not be other things that you would bring on, because at the end of the day, even though a lot of your relationships outside of this realm are good, there are still people that are still watching, and they still judge your ability to be able to deal with other people based on what they see right there. And if they're seeing a lot of a commonality, a lot of common denominator action that's going on, and they're like, well, that's how the situation is, you may only be successful or at peace with your nucleus. That doesn't say anything for new situations that could come outside of this. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
Image is everything. You know that because you
no, yeah. Image is everything. I know that anytime I've ever heard someone has had an issue with me on Chasing Atlanta or Chasing Reality, whatever, I've always reached out because I don't mind taking accountability and I don't mind hearing other people out. And again, I understand that we're all in a new environment where we're getting to know each other, and there's a lot of things about each other that we just don't know, we may not understand, but a simple conversation can explain it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying everything I do is perfect, because I know I'm not perfect. I'm still learning, I'm still growing. This is my first time in this type of arena, in this type of environment. So there's a lot of things that
it's your second time. It's your first time. You 2 seasons in. You really 3 seasons in, because you did part of Chasing Dallas too. You ain't, as you told me earlier, this ain't your first time at the rodeo.
Right.
What do you mean?
In this type of environment, like growing up, I've always hung. I don't really want to get into all that, but like hanging around like this group of people and this under these conditions, this was my first time. So a lot of things I'm still learning and I'm still grasping and whatever. I forgot your question.
No, well, not it's. Basically, I'm trying to understand that. So you're saying, well, first of all, you're saying this is your first time. I don't understand it.
So being a part of an LGBT group, filming on reality TV, that's my first time doing it. I've never done it.
But wouldn't this be your third time? Like you've done, this is your
I'm talking about like in general, just in general.
Maybe
we should skip past that part because I think we're understanding it different.
Yeah. Your first time, but I would say, okay, here's what I'm saying. I can see why you're saying your first time, but I'm gonna go one step deeper.
Okay.
The interim that happens between experiences. You have one season on Chasing Atlanta, there's an interim to understand things, process things. Then you kind of come on Chasing Dallas as a friend to the moment, you're kind of just pop in, hey y'all.
Just
so that
pop
would be experience number 2,
out.
where there was conflict too, with Markel throwing things and all that kind of carrying on. Then there's another break. Now you're back onto a third season. By this point, it's not a first time.
I get what you're saying.
The third time.
I get what you're saying, but
you can't ride first that long.
My view on it is I'm still learning these people. Like outside of the show, when we come film for 1 to 2 hours, I don't see them anymore. I may hang out with them, I may talk to them on the phone, but everything is still a learning process. For example, I've been a part of Chasing Reality since 2018. We started filming in 2018. I don't know Cameron that well, and that's not shade. It's just I just don't know him that well. Like I don't know what his favorite food is. I don't know what makes him angry, upset. I just don't know him that well because I haven't spent that time. But as time goes on and new scenes get shot, new things happen, I get to learn the person more.
So that's the first time with individuals.
That's from. Maybe I used the wrong words. I don't know.
Well, just not. I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I think it's just you. I think that in general, I think there was a first time for you being saturated in this like this. But by this point, you know how it works now. By this point now, and we got to keep it real.
Now I do.
You're right.
Now I do. But
that's what I'm saying. Ain't the first time. Like
now I do.
Season 4 of Chasing Atlanta the first time.
Well, we're talking about season 3. I mean season 4.
4, yeah.
Right. We're talking about Oliver within season 4. Season 4 is done. Season 4 been done.
Right. That's what I'm saying, Oliver. Like season 4 can't be your first time because you was on season 3, and then season 2 of Chasing Dallas. Now you're back on season 4. So you know what I'm getting at. So we're not like going around Mulberry Bush. You know the game now. That's what I'm getting at. Is that you understand?
Now I do. Now in 2020 officially I do. Yes.
Okay. So let me roll on back. When you recorded your first season, your first scene for the 2020 rollout of season 4, you knew then before they said go. You didn't know it here today.
I knew, but see,
Did you not know before they hit the camera or record for season 4?
So like I knew things about season 3, but walking to season 4, I hadn't really argued with a friend. I hadn't really brought dating around. I hadn't really it's certain experiences, certain new experiences bring out new knowledge in certain stuff like that.
So okay, so would you say let's shape that a little bit. Some of your practices, would you maybe say that some of your practices are new?
Oh, Most definitely.
I think maybe that's what you were getting at. So break down to me, like, what practices are different from season 4 versus season 3? Let's go there.
You know what? I think to shape it just a little bit more, I'm just gonna wrap it all up into one and talk about then and talk about now. So in a lot of things, I always look at me first and say, Eddie, how did you get here? What did you do that brought you here first? Before I start pointing my finger at other people, let me check myself out first. And I would definitely say,
what did you find?
Huh?
What did you find?
What I would say was that as I went throughout this process and being in this arena, that I did lose a sense of myself in that I believed I had allowed the toxicity of it to kind of damper my my threshold for compassion. Because in this
that's a powerful statement.
And like in reality, like when I first came on, there were a lot of things that were thrown at me that I was like, y'all know that's a lie, or you know firsthand it didn't happen like that. And so I placed myself in a very combative shut off wall where it's like, I really don't give a fuck because ain't nobody care about me. I really don't. I'm really, you know, I'll understand you, but I'm not really going to sympathize because ain't nobody sympathize with me. Don't nobody sympathize with me. And I realize now that type of attitude was very incorrect. Very, very, very incorrect. And I can be honest and vulnerable and say there were probably some moments with certain people I missed because I had already created a story in my brain that you gonna shade me. Now,
hold on, wait, don't go to now yet. Wait, I need to hear a little bit more of that first. Put it right down. I want to get to the now. Because this is why I do this, and not to interrupt you. I promise I'm not. I just want to say this. The reason why I do this is not to go viral. That's not. I know that we do it. We're in media. Numbers look good. It's a great number of people here tonight. That's cute. I really do care about y'all because I'm telling you, Oliver and Eddie, because I care about Eddie. Oliver is something you created. Eddie is who I care about. And this industry won't be
Auntie, can I stop you there? I'll also be vulnerable and say that Oliver isn't some, you know, a lot of people, when they talk about me, they'll be like, the antics, and he's loud, and he's
yeah. Okay.
I'll be honest and say, that's Eddie. The only reason why y'all know Oliver Twixt is because I felt like saying Eddie Oliver's rapping was so lame. And I just put that name on it just so I can sound cool. But there's no switch that I hit when I'm filming. There's nothing that I hate. If Auntie, I don't lie well. Like, I just don't lie well. I just don't lie. I'll forget, and then I'll sound crazy. So I'm okay with people critiquing Oliver because I'm like, well, that's just me. Like, people who watch this show from high school, from Florida, like, Eddie was loud in high school. Everything Eddie is right now as Oliver, that's who Eddie is. That's who Eddie was back then.
Okay, that makes sense. That cleared something up for me. So I thank you for saying that. So what I was going to tell you, though, was, and you know this, I know that you're smart. I know that you are. I know that you're not smart. You're beyond your genius level. Like, that's what some people didn't understand, even with me saying what I said. They try to make it a personal, emotional thing. And I'm like, no, the reason why I'm saying this is because the boy is brilliant. With that brilliance comes responsibility. And so
I agree. I totally agree.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not all the other stuff. You know, the reason why I did it the way that I did, I said, I have to say this a different way. Whether ain't about trying to make you cry in the middle of the night. It's not about none of that. I see how brilliant you truly are. And so with that, there are going to be instances where you're tempted, as you were in season 4 of Chasing Atlanta, where you can take a different route and where you can make those choices and say, well, you know what, since don't nobody care about me, or since this ain't happening, that's not happening, I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. And even though it may seem innocuous at the moment, it could have some sort of a later effect. And that's why I said, so you confirmed it for me, that you went in, but now I know why. You were defensive. You went in with a bit of a guard.
And so is that right? Am I right? My defense mechanism comes from what I said earlier. You fucking bitches are okay with me when I'm benefiting you or when you can get something out of me. Oh, Oliver's cool. Oliver's that. Oliver's that.
Yeah.
But the moment I do something that rubs you the wrong way, you don't pick up the phone and call me as your friend. The only bitch that has ever done this on Chasing Atlanta, which is why if she fight, I gotta fight with her, is Lauren. Lauren picked up the phone and she had a conversation with me and said, hey, you did something and made me feel this way, but I want to have a conversation with you. I feel like everybody else who's called me their friend or whatever, the moment I stepped out of whatever their comfort zone is, instead of coming to their friend and like, hey friend, what's up? It's I'm tearing him down in the live. I'm in the comments. Okay. So me looking at that and saying, well, I thought we were friends. Why aren't you talking to me? It's like, okay, yes. It's me over here. So, and it's everybody over there. Okay. Now, and this also comes from, from season 3, people still doing lives and me calling like, hey, I just saw your live. I want to talk to you about some stuff. And then it keeps happening. So it's like, it just keeps happening. It's not going to change. The only thing I can do is now is protect me so that I'm not affected by it.
Okay, so let me say something to that, please. Yes. I get it. Now it makes more sense. This is why I do this. I thank you for talking with me tonight. This was the problem. The problem is, for me and for the side of the Chasing Atlanta audience that is not really feeling you. Some people, they feeling you, but they don't know why. It's blind following. I'm not for that. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. The reason why that's there is because those moments of vulnerability, you didn't let us see them. This is me. You put up such an unbothered ow all the time that I'm telling you, now hearing you say this would have changed my whole estimation of you. Not that you care. It may not be important. It's maybe as important to you as a penny on the ground. I get it. It's whatever. But I'm telling you, optics, even in this, because this is the most visible that you are to people that don't know you, it matters. So those other situations I was talking about, other friendships, other business contacts that you may get, it's okay, Oliver, to show that vulnerability. Not, again, like I said, crying and falling out. It ain't about all that. But just, I would have loved to have known some of this, because then I could judge the situation better and be like, wait a minute, y'all need to quit talking about him like this, because if this is true, then now I need to ask you a question. Why are you doing that when he's been so good to you? You see why it's good to build all the story and not part of it?
Yes. I do want to say something. The people now, while I can be vulnerable and do some self-checking, I don't want it to be offensive to the people who do support me, because they are plenty and they do support me like this. Yeah. And so it's not like a blind following. The people who follow me, they know exactly why. And the people who follow me also are very honest with me, as I am very honest with myself. So it's like, I just love Oliver and his shit don't stink. No, Oliver's whatever, but I see Oliver for Oliver.
Honey, you gotta hide. Okay, that may be true.
I know some of them. Well, most of them are crazy. Let's
admit it. Let's admit that we all have a hive. Beyonce's hive almost tried to kill a woman because she asked Jay-Z what he wanted to drink.
Oh, the nerds don't play about me. The nerds and sisters don't play. They don't play.
Listen, when I said that, there were a lot of people, I got a little following too. There were a lot of people that felt what I said, but baby, your people, they kept with the stingers. They came out, and I loved it. And I'm gonna tell you why I loved it, because you do need that. You need that base. You need that, and I'm gonna say this too. The other reason why you want to make sure you control that base, and at least show the growing base of what it is. We see what's happening right now in Washington. When you let your base run amok, and you don't curtail them, or give a little bit more substance so that people are really understand. And maybe you don't care. And if you don't, that's your business.
No, it's not that. I see a lot of times I really don't know what be going on.
You said, say it again.
I say it's not that I don't care. A lot of times I really don't know the extent of what's happening, because like, I'm not a comment girl. I don't watch my cast members' lives. I don't watch their interviews. I don't go down in the comments.
Your own world.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm busy doing other stuff. Like, I really can't take time to like really get into it. But now that you've told me that they're acting crazy, I'm gonna spank them.
I spank mine. Listen, I don't ever. And the thing, and you know this, Oliver, you can't control what people do. We can't control what people do. And when you put out a presence that is infectious and people are with it, you don't really want to tamper with that. But as we said, eventually Beyonce had to say, okay, now y'all calm down. Because she's Beyonce. She didn't say nothing for a long time, and that thing festers. And what becomes a pure loyalty in the beginning can get really ugly. So if you're okay with that, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to make sure that, to the best of your ability, that the support that you're getting is something that is substantive, and that you're 24 now. When you're 64, when you're getting up there in age, like I'm getting up there, you still want those same people. You don't want people that are novelty. And then when you do something they don't like, they throw you away. That happens all the time. So that's all I'm saying. Just don't be afraid to show us any vulnerability. It's cool.
And you know what?
It's all right.
I agree. I think so. For me, when I enter chasing reality, I have 4 goals in mind.
Okay.
My 4 goals were to expand my reach, present a different type of gay black male in media.
Yeah.
I wanted to grow my businesses, and
you're doing it.
And I forgot what the 4th thing was.
Be fabulous. Just feeling it.
No, not even that. I said it the other day to somebody else. We'll just stick to those 3. But like those were my main goals. Being vulnerable wasn't. Oh, and not fighting. Being vulnerable didn't come into any of that. And
put it in there. I'm telling you, because and I only say that not to make you change what you're building, because I love what you're building. It is literally stronger and better when you build that vulnerability, when they can see your soul, when you give them a peek of it, I'll bring her up again. I'm not trying to make her the word of the hour. When Beyonce would show those videos of her like in a corner somewhere and she's crying, those little moments, they matter. People will love you. The people that already love you will love you 50,000 times more when you show that you're like them. When you show that I cry like you cry, like you did when you got on here. I'm like, where's Oliver at? He pooping and peeing. Everybody loves it.
And now that you say that, I think that's which is why I think I have a different experience with my top model fans, is because I am doing all that. I'm saying, like, when I was a child, when I was a child,
there
that,
you go. Yeah.
You know, this is what this means to me, and these are certain things that I deal with. I just think, to be honest, before I did anything to anybody on this show, I do believe that my presence and how I present myself in this world did disturb some people. And things happened to me where I 100% did nothing to anyone. And I think as a defense mechanism, I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut this off, and I'm gonna stick to my guns on why I came to be funny. I came to show my business. I came to grow all these things. I came to do all that. Because I don't feel like I've ever really been given the chance to be vulnerable on this show. Like, it's either I'm working or I have to defend myself, instead of me, again, having a conversation with someone. Like, I don't know. I have talked to some people on this cast, in the prior cast, like, you know, what was it about that you just couldn't come talk to me? And they've shared it. They've shared certain things with me. Everything I've gotten so far had more to do with them and what they were thinking more so than me.
It usually is the case, yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna say their name, but me and former cast had a beautiful conversation where we were just talking and just, you know, well, I did this because this way, and I saw what you did this way, and it's like, well, no, that's not what I meant. I meant this. I can, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's
a dialogue and talk it out.
I don't feel like with me, there's never been any dialogue, and I've always invited dialogue. Like I said, I'm always the one who calls people like, hey girl, I heard you got a problem with me. You know, what's going on? I want to know. You know, whatever. And we have that conversation, and it moves on, and then other things happen. I'm like, okay, well,
give space to that, Oliver, as you go forward. Just give space to it. And I understand, and that's in a great part of this. That is why, at least for me, I'm not saying that you feel this, but I feel this, I think, because I'm older. That's why I feel like I see a lot of myself in you, because I know what it's like to give and people shit on it. I do. And you develop an exterior. You develop something that's like, oh, I'm going to get through this. Like, you won't break me. Like, let's not be foolish here.
That's definitely my attitude. Definitely. I said that's definitely my attitude.
And it works, and that's why you are making so many moves and you're accomplishing so many things, because that fortitude is needed to get through this ugly industry. I totally get it, but don't let it overtake you. And I'm saying this again. Not do you change when you're Oliver versus Eddie. Because it may sound like you're fronting. That's what I'm trying to say. But protect Eddie. You owe it to yourself to protect Eddie. Huh?
I want to talk to that. And that is something, like, in real life, I got to, and I was like, remember I said earlier, I had to ask myself, how did I get in
How'd you get here? Yeah.
And it's like, Eddie, you have to take responsibility. that
Yes.
you place yourself in certain situations that already carried a certain energy, a
Yes.
certain toxicity, a certain negativity. You chose
Yes.
to associate yourself with that. And
Yes.
by you not erecting very clear boundaries and very clear expectations and holding yourself responsible for your own self, you succumb to the energy.
Yeah.
And in moving forward, when you know certain things about certain environments, certain people, certain things, if you don't want that to be a part of your discussion, you have to be strong enough in yourself and say, Eddie, this isn't what you do. This isn't what you're going to do. And you need to remove yourself, because if you don't, for example, let's use the Q situation. Did I start that rumor about Q? Hell the fuck no. Did I hop on a line and spread that rumor? Hell the fuck no, I didn't. However, I understand that in hindsight, when the first inkling of it was given to me, whether I thought it was a joke, whether I thought it was true, whether I thought it was rumor, whatever I thought it was, as someone who said I am this person's friend, I could have done one of three things. I could have told the person who was bringing it to me, hey, this isn't cool. If you say it again, I'm going to let Q know. Or, hey, this isn't cool. Please don't involve me in this conversation anymore. Click. Or I could have called Q. You finna go, baby? Give me a kiss. Here we go. I'm gonna call Q immediately and let him know what's going on. I did none of that. Whether I knew it or was knowledgeable, I was complacent in that energy, and so I have to take responsibility.
I'm glad that you're
for allowing myself to be a part of that energy. And whatever happened to me, Eddie, you just got to take it and take it as a learning.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Bye, boyfriend.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Thank you for saying that. And those are the things that I think they're character building, not just for image, but they're character building. They make you a better you by doing that, and giving space. There was one other thing I wanted to say too, because it was kind of part of that, and I don't want to bring up the name because it's more of a foresight piece of advice. One of the reasons why you and Q got into it was because of an editing situation that happened, and something that was filmed got out, and that whole thing, and there were regrets that were there too. Not saying that any of that was done by said person with malicious intent or anything like that. They're trying to do a show. Everybody got content. We try to push it out. We're doing what we do. All I'm gonna say is this: be mindful, Oliver, Eddie, because as you go forward, so many doors are going to open up for you. You're going to be put into deeper situations that you're not going to be able to go back and say, well, I didn't know. They're going to ask you to do stuff. When they know that they can get you, and they know that, well, he's got talent, he's got an image, he's got numbers, and then it's just going to keep raising higher and higher and higher. A lot of people that get into this reality TV industry, the reason why they can't get out, the stakes get higher, and they put on another million. They put on another brand. They keep rewarding you to be the worst image of yourself. So as you said, you're looking up one day and like, how did I get here? I'm sure that there are other people that are at the top of the game in reality TV industry and the entertainment industry that are wondering how they got there. They kept rewarding them to be the worst versions of themselves. Don't let this industry do that to you. That's all I want you to know.
Let's thank you so much for that. First of all,
you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I want to speak to that too.
Please go ahead.
I'll just lay it out. I'll lay it out there on the line because people will see this develop more in a later space, in a later medium. Just keep your cable bills paid.
Okay.
But I had a conversation with
Madison,
and I told her verbatim. I said, because there were some other things that have happened. Everybody on YouTube knows, and I'm like, I feel highly uncomfortable being associated with things that everyone that is a part knows I have no dealings, or any logical person would be like, Oliver's not the person to blame. However, like I said earlier, I have to take accountability, and I have to accept that I place myself in an arena, in a space of energy that I succumb to, and whatever happens, you gotta accept it because you were compliant to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I told her, and I told myself, moving forward, that type of content I can't be a part of. I'm all about.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just agreeing. Go ahead.
No, it's like that type of content I can't be a part of. I can't be a part of content that I know is placing someone else at the butt of a joke in that type of way. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Because that's still someone's real life. That's still someone's real feelings. And it's something that I learned when I was talking to these top model girls. You know, these people are in these offices and they're using real people for their entertainment. And it's like, well, you signed up for it. You were in front of the camera, but it's like, no, you're presenting an idea about me that is causing a certain response, and I am a person with feelings. I feel this sort of way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And literally from Q's moment is when I said I am no longer doing this type of content because I don't like how it made someone else feel, and I don't like the feelings that I now feel knowing that I was a part of something that made someone feel a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So, and what I'm saying is start using discernment to have more foresight. It literally lessens and kind of eliminates the amount of apologies you're going to have to give to people by seeing it in the future and saying, if I do this or if I do that, and you know you got a lot of content, if you know you're editing a lot of stuff, you owe it to the people that you say that are close to you to make sure that you're looking out for them. Just, that's all I'm saying. I saw there were certain situations where they were hurt. I want to ask a couple little questions. I know we run out of time, but people got questions. I want to make sure you answer.
Q running late. Me, Q, and Lauren was just on the phone before I jumped on.
Oh, so we good. Okay, so Q.
They was helping me poop.
Second, I'm coming.
They was helping me poop. I was like, girl, I'm pooping, and I was like, girl, I gotta poop. I'm sorry, I gotta poop.
So listen, I want to make sure that I'm going to save this last one for last. So that's my big question. If there were any ex-cast member that you could bring back, who would it be?
You know what? Only because I had a conversation with them and it seems like they're in a better place. I would say We Were Born. I think they should come back. Which, to be honest, you know, even though we were going through certain things, production would tell you, I always said they should come back because, you know, they're
Are you good with them now?
Huh?
Are you good with them now?
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad to know that. Yeah, I remember that time. That scared the hell out of me.
Uh-huh.
I know that.
I would love to see them come back. I know a lot of people say they want Gardini to come back, but Gardini is Gardini's in a different. He's in a different realm now. So
are you and Gardini still cool?
That I know of. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Almost. I haven't spoken to him in a good little minute. You know, we'll DM each other or comment on each other's stuff. I saw him probably like 2 months ago, but yeah, we're cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. And then finally, for myself, and maybe for others too, I am so troubled even to this moment about you and Kendra. Can you speak to that?
Oh yes. I'm not going to give it away.
Don't give it away.
I'm not going to give the full details away.
Kind of recap where you are now. I know the show is done, but this you and Kendra, that was like a volcano that just would not stop overflowing. So what can you speak to about
Okay, so what I can speak to that moment is by the way, I haven't seen like episodes of Chasing Atlanta like in like 4 weeks. I'm like 4 episodes behind. I've been seeing like the clips people post, but I haven't seen like full episodes. So like what you see and what you may know, I don't know like the edit and all the other stuff. Okay. But what I will say is the last scene that we all shot, the group scene, I finally saw for myself the hurt. And again, whether people want to accept it or not about me, whatever. In that moment, I understood where she was coming from. And even though I didn't agree with the motivations behind it, I still understood it and I was able to sympathize and I was able to receive her so differently, and I was able to approach her differently. Like I said earlier, when you know certain things and when you become aware of certain things, and if your ultimate goal is positivity and camaraderie and resolution, you have the responsibility to move a certain way. It may not feel right, it may not look right, but because you are in this position, you have to move a certain way. But that last night, I saw her differently, and I was able to process it differently. You know,
I'm glad to hear that.
I really took myself out of the equation and was like, okay, Oliver, you said you was trying to help her, which I was. You know, you were doing all these things, which I did. Mm-hmm. Look at it from her perspective and see how you would feel if you were in her shoes. We all were new cast members last season. Okay. We all were trying to get our shit off the ground. From the outside looking in, everybody else, especially Oliver, was enjoying the fruits of the show. Besides me, I'm locked away and I can't do anything right now. And the people who I was developing relationships with, in the moments where they could praise me or like big me up, they didn't do it. And like I go back to the Power of Three Live, and I've watched it a bunch of times just trying to see what people saw. Did we talk bad about anybody? No. Did we drag people? No. Did we like do it? No, we didn't do that. But we also, in relation to her, wasn't like donate, get LaKendra out, stream her music, help her, she's great, she's this, she's that. We said none of that. So from her side, I can understand how being where she was, I can see, and already having the experiences that her as a trans woman, Black trans woman doing hip hop, her experiences, I can see how what we did shaped her response. And again, seeing that I was like, okay, I gotta go about this a whole different way. Now, had I tried to reach out to Kendra before? Yes. Have I called Kendra before apologizing? Yes. But I don't know. It was just something different about that moment where I just was like, and I don't know how it'll be presented, but I was like, everybody just be quiet and just let her talk. Like, just let her talk, because I want to experience this, because I'm seeing it differently, and it's making me want to respond to it differently. Okay. So you guys have to see how it, how it.
I'm glad. Because everyone's asking, I'm for one glad that there's not going to be an audience there for the reunion. It's just because I don't think that especially a show of this magnitude has gotten to the point where it can handle an audience just yet. Because everybody's invested. Everybody got their hives, and it'll be too much. But I do want to say that my goal, when I bring y'all together, I want you to express yourselves. There may be some heated feelings. Somebody may raise their voice. It's fine. I want y'all to hear each other, because these moments matter. And all I'm saying in the closing of this, from me to you, this realm matters too, Oliver.
It does.
These people, because y'all coming up to, and then I look at y'all kind of like this, and some people probably gonna go off when I say this, but just feel my heart. Almost the equivalent of when the Cosby brand was starting up, or when the Wayans brand was starting up. Y'all are coming up. People are looking up to you. So many people are wanting to build shows now because of what you're doing. So it's real easy to look at this bunch and say like, well, I don't talk to them after it's done, and kind of dismiss it. When I tell you that y'all need to stick together, you may not be best friends or anything like that, but y'all need each other more than you think that you do. Mm-hmm. The success that you're getting individually is really beginning to explode because everyone is looking at you. And so you owe it to yourselves, you owe it to the community to show that even though we don't agree, we ain't gonna be that way to each other. We ain't gonna kill each other. I'm gonna get my shit together with Kendra and support her. And like you said,
can I
feel her?
Auntie, can I say something right fast? Because I'm watching the comments, and I'm not.
I know it's a lot going on.
And I'm not going to speak to the people who just come for the mess and live for the mess.
It's all right. It's all part of
it. Okay. Again, we all were individual people who entered into an arena where we did not know the other person, and under certain circumstances that reality TV bring, on top of trying to learn people, certain things happened. And I know that for Oliver, I'm in a space to learn my cast members, because I do understand the brevity of what we all have been blessed with, which is what I was kind of speaking to that day when I was angry and upset at the table. I was like, we've all been blessed with this opportunity as a collective. Mm-hmm. We've all been blessed with this opportunity as a collective to work together, to be the change in the world. All of us sitting here are the minority in this world right now. And why are we taking this opportunity to tear each other down? I was talking to Daytwan the other day, and we were talking, and I was like, I can't wait for the day on Chasing Atlanta where the drama is no longer about what somebody said in their live or who didn't show up. The drama's about, God damn it, we were supposed to go to a show in Tennessee, and Kendra ass ain't get on the bus because
that's what I want.
Because her motherfucking ass forgot her boot and she had to go back.
That's what I'm gonna push y'all to, yes.
Right, or goddamn it.
Drama.
Yeah, like, because all of us are so talented, and I think the beauty of our Baby, I think the beauty of our cast Love You is that all of us are truly notable people in our community doing what we do. And I think we owe it to each other just to talk. Like, pick up the phone and let's talk and let's get to know each other, let's grow, so that all this other senseless things that's going on don't get in the way of the real stuff that we really can do. And like I said, whether a bitch want to take it or not, I know that Oliver is a place right now where I am very cognizant of what I give my energy to and what I decide I want to be aligned with or participate in, because I don't want my good work spoken evil of. And I'm also in a place to step out of my, I'm also in a place to really, truly, truly step out of outside of myself and really get to know people and try to understand where they're coming from and not enter into everything in this defense mechanism like a bitch is trying to get me, which a lot of times that is the case. And when you know things like that, don't even deal with it. Go the other way. Don't shoot with them. Don't talk about them. Don't go over there. Be in control of yourself. And if you're really trying to build something specific in this type of space, there's no need for all that. Like, it's no need. There's so much greater work that we could be doing as a collective. Like I said, it could be some high pussy drama we could be talking about. Like, you keep going over your set time.
Listen, that's what I said. I was like, all this, you know, somebody took something out their mouth and somebody said something, someone looked at somebody. I get that that's how we have to start a lot of these things, because it's still is forming itself. But now the Chasing Reality brand is established. And so there's more to whom much is given, much is required. And so now we can go to those higher levels as you push forward. So that's all I wanted. Oliver, I want to thank you. Before we go, thank you for showing me this side of yourself. And even though there may not be a full unanimous sentiment in the comments, a lot of people, I believe, see you differently now. I saw it several times in the comments where they were like, I didn't know that. He's showing us a different side. Thank you for doing that and open up your heart and to admit things that other people that we've seen that are the big kahunas of other reality franchises, they would never admit these things. So I'm going to give you props for that, and I thank you for that, baby.
Well, Imani, and I'll say where it comes from. You know, regardless of what kind of trouble I get myself into or what kind of learning lessons I have to learn, what I do know to be a fact is that the man above placed something inside of me. Mm-hmm. And I feel a very strong tug from him in the universe that, Eddie, you have to get your shit together. And you have to fix my shit. And you know, the true star of, oh my God, the true star of all of this is really my boyfriend. And I tell him all the time, I thank you so, I'm sorry. I tell him all the time,
it's okay.
You know, I thank you so much for coming into my life, because you helped me realize so many things that I wouldn't have realized. And I know a lot of where I am right now is because of the different interactions I've had with that man. You know, I love him so much, and he's really, 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 like, really, really helped me realize things that I believe if I didn't meet him, going forward, I still would have walked into these doors I'm about to walk in, but I would have fucked myself up.
Yeah.
I would have messed up. I'm thankful for Chasing Atlanta and being a part of Chasing Atlanta, because there's a lot of things with friends, producers, whatever, that I've learned that moving forward I'm not going to do. And if it wasn't for this arena, I would have moved forward and I would have fucked it up. I would have been like those other people that we know that fucked it up. That's so right. I don't know where I was. I'm sorry.
I think you summed it up perfectly, and it was the prettiest, perfect little box of a gift you gave to us to put it there like that. We see you. They're like I said, people are going to feel the way that they want to feel. That's not what this is about. I know what I see, and I always want to at least see the soul that's there. Never expect you to be perfect. I'm not perfect, but as long as I see a human being, there's always hope. And I'm glad that you showed us that, because a lot of people wouldn't have showed us any of what you said. So last question I always ask everybody, and I got to make it official with you. What do you need the Vanzap family to do for you as you are growing and becoming in this world? I know you're achieving great things, but how can we be the wind beneath your wings to lift you up a little bit higher? What do you need from us?
What I need from the people is to understand that I'm learning, but I am willing to learn. Okay. I know, I've always known, and I've always accepted, I know I'm not perfect. And I do understand how I may translate outside of myself. That I understand. But I think what I want people to understand is that I'm not coming from a place of maliciousness. I've never gotten up a day in my life and said, what I'm about to do, I know this is going to hurt somebody. That's not okay. In my bone. But I know that whatever I may do may translate differently to someone else. And what I would like, I may not get it, whatever, but I would like for people just to understand that I'm still, bitch, when I came to Chase in Atlanta, I was 21 turning 22. I have been sheltered all my life. I was at Morehouse College.
You had just started changing your own Pampers.
Exactly. Like, I was just there.
You had just wiped the milk from behind your ear.
There's a lot of things that I'm just now learning, you know, and like I said, with particularly my boyfriend coming into my life, there's just so many other things that I didn't realize. Like, bitch, like, this is how you are, and you can't be this way.
Okay.
So just people allow me to grow, and just be willing to have a conversation with me. I think I'm one of the most easiest people to come talk to. Like, just come talk. Like, the way you're talking to me right now is how I wish so many other people come talk to me, instead of it coming through a comment, like dragging me in a comment, or dragging me on a live. I'm not gonna understand none of that shit.
No one. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. These moments help us. Yeah, I thank you. Thank you, Oliver. I love you. Yes, crazy. Well, I guess I'll see you in a little bit.
I still haven't found my reunion outfit.
I am still in search of mine as well. So we'll be stronger and better together. We'll get them. We'll be all right.
Listen, I just want to tell everyone, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. For the people who love me, who ride hard for me, the people who buy my music, who buy my show tickets, who watch my shit, who subscribe, who buy my seasoning, who support me, who retweet, who share, who come out. Bitch, I love y'all because y'all have changed my life forever. Yeah. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for this platform. I'm grateful to Kevon. I'm grateful to and Dario. I'm grateful to Reese G. Reese G had a part of me, had a big part of me. I'm thankful to every man who's held the camera. I'm so grateful to y'all because y'all have really helped change my life from being someone who was striving and wanting and aspiring, and now I'm living a life fully that I saw for myself, and I'm Imani, I'm so grateful. Every DM I get, every comment I get, every subscription I get, I am so grateful because I never thought it would happen to someone that looks like me and that does what I do and that talks like me and walk. I never thought it. And it's but it wouldn't have happened without people like you, people out there in the world I'm so, like, y'all don't understand. I am so freaking grateful. I am so grateful. I don't take not one like. I don't take not one subscription. I don't take none of that shit lightly, because I remember when I was a young girl in a corner of my room writing raps, just imagining, hoping and praying one day somebody would want to hear me. And now, where I am right now and things that I have coming up, it's like, bitch, how the fuck did you get here? And a lot of it is through people like you and the people who are watching. I love y'all. I am grateful for y'all. Let me tell y'all, wherever I go in life, whatever the fuck it is, I'm still gonna be this bitch in this apartment on the inside because I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I ain't gonna hold it to time.
You got it,
the special blend, girl. The special blend.
Listen, thank you for getting that out. No. I appreciate you. I ain't
crying no more. Y'all
save
this moment. Savor it.
I will talk to you soon, baby. Thank you for your time tonight. I love you with my soul.
Love you so much. Thank you, guys. Shout out to my brother Q, who's coming on after me.
Yeah,
Q, remember,
I came first. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'm sorry, Auntie. Give me 1 second. Q, just remember, I came first and you came second.
Wait. Get off my phone.
Bye.
Bye, baby. That was good. Come home.